Hi. One thing I was kind of thinking about the other day, I was watching The Big Bang Theory, and my parents love that show, and I love that show, and my husband loves that show. We're all big fans of it. We think it's hilarious. But I remember one time my mum came up to me and she was talking to me about, oh, your dad and I, we love watching The Big Bang Theory. Our favorite character is Sheldon because he reminds us of you. And I'm like, really? Like, I don't get it. I mean, yeah, he's quirky and weird and doesn't get on with people very well, doesn't have very good social skills, and misses, social stuff. Like, he doesn't get some social things. He doesn't pick up on cues. Yeah, cool, I get that. But, like, really, for the majority of what he does and his quirks, they don't line up with me at all. And I'm sure a lot of you out there, I'm sure you've kind of thought the same thing. Of like, yeah, okay, I can see some similarities to Aspergers, but really, it's a bit of a caricature, really. Like, most of us are nothing like that. So, well, not to that extreme anyway. So, I don't know, I'm sure I'm not the only person who thinks this and gets kind of irritated. I mean, I laugh at it and I, haha, yeah, I'm weird too, but like, I don't know, I think sometimes it gives this kind of idea of what people with Asperger's are like. And the show doesn't even talk about Asperger's or him having it. It just says that, he was tested and he's not crazy, which, cool, neither am I. I'm just a little bit quirky. So, but yeah, like, I have no, desire to keep track of my bowel movements. I'm not precious about a spot on the couch, if people visit, they can sit wherever the heck they like, I don't care. And I don't think I'm that possessive about anything, really. Like, I remember as a kid I was really possessive about my stuff, but I don't think it's to the extreme of Sheldon, but maybe it's just, I like to think of myself that way. I don't know. Maybe my parents, because, they look from the outside looking in and watching me grow up, maybe they see more than I do. But I don't know, I don't think I'm to that extreme. Yeah. And also, another character, and all of you out there who are Trekkies, I'm a bit of a Trekkie, because my father, I grew up with watching Star Trek Generation, Star Trek Voyager. My dad loves those shows. So, I would watch them with him, and so they'd always joke, oh, Kate's just like a Vulcan, because she thinks logically and crap, which I don't. I don't even think like that. I think, if, just ask Luke, my husband, he'll tell you, I don't think like a Vulcan at all. If anything, my emotions are all over the place, and, pretty much, like, I'm not that, I don't get it. I really don't understand the Vulcan thing. The Sheldon thing to an extent, but really, nah, I don't get it. Like, I'm not, I don't know. I don't know. It just, it kind of annoys me a little, but I don't want to be all like, get all upset about that sort of thing. I don't want to be a killjoy. Like, I do understand how people can see it to a degree, but I think it sometimes gives the wrong impression of what, if people put Vulcans and people with autism or Asperger's in the same boat, it's kind of, it puts us in a box. And I suppose people make stereotypes for anyone, really, to any sort of group of people to understand them, I guess. We all want to categorize things, but I think, especially because there's different levels, like, I have mild Asperger's, for example, and that's vastly different to someone with severe autism. Like, that's a whole, they're like, galaxies away from each other, really. They're very different, but they're under the same umbrella, which is why I suppose now they just all put it under autism spectrum, but that in a way simplifies things more, but that's a whole other argument. Waka waka! So, my husband and I are, like, big Muppets fans. Like, yeah, we both love the Muppets. We love innocent kind of shows that are, not, like, a lot of shows, they feel the need to be rude in order to be funny, but the Muppets, there's a wonderful innocence about them, but adults can enjoy it too. That's what we both love about the Muppets. So we're starting our Muppet collection. Luke got me this one for my birthday, and this one we found in an op shop, actually. It was only $2. So got Beaker and Fozzie Bear there. Yeah, it's funny, sometimes I wonder if, I guess this kind of Muppets thing is an example of how I'm actually a child. I'm actually 12 years old. Mimi! Mimi! I don't know, I think I think I identify with Beaker because he's a bit of a, the poor guy, he's a bit of a klutz, and he always gets himself in accidents, so I totally get that, because I fall over. I'll trip over flat surfaces, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there like that. And it's because that's probably one of the most obvious Aspergers things that I still, that's probably the most obvious one, is my hand-eye coordination, my balance skills, and all that sort of stuff. It's all very, it's improved a bit since I was a kid, but not that much. So I identify with Beaker in that way. So if anything, I'm more like Beaker than I am like Sheldon Cooper. So yeah, I thought I'd make a bit of a lighter video this time. The first one I did was a bit heavy. And I've actually looked a lot on YouTube and seen that there's a lot of stuff out there on Aspergers. So really, and I'm no expert. In fact, you know, like I said, I have mild Aspergers, but I do enjoy being a help to people, because I've had parents of kids with Aspergers who knew my parents or whatever, or friend of a friend, mutual friends, those kind of things. They're like, oh, I have a cousin who has it, or whatever. Can you, you know, tell me a bit about your story? So that's why I sort of thought I would start my blog and now start these videos, because I think they're a help. And I kind of look at all this other stuff and go, oh, should I even bother? Because there's so many things. There's lots of you know, there's videos with Tony Atwood and people like that, and I'm like, watch those, and you know, watch. They're probably much more informative than mine are, but I guess I'd just like to talk about my life experience and just have a bit of fun, really. And I'm not necessarily going to keep these videos strictly about my experiences with Asperger's. They were kind of, but just talking about life as a creative person, or just an introverted person, or just, you know, daily life things. Because there's people out there that do videos about stupid random stuff, and they tend to get a lot of views. So I'm like, well, you know what, I'll give it a go. And that's kind of part of my point with this video. There's no, it's random. I started out talking about Sheldon Cooper, and then there's Beaker. Like, what the hell? There's no logic to it. There's no sense to it. Which is very un-Vulcan of me and very un-Sheldon of me. And I guess, I think that it might have been started with the whole teenage rebellion thing. It's like, oh, you're a certain way because you have Asperger's. You fit this mold. So I'm like, well, actually, no, I don't. And you can get stuffed, and this is me. So, but I try to do it in a nice way. But yeah, I don't know, this is all a bit silly and fun. I want to do more videos on this kind of silliness, but have a message, as well. So, enjoy. Bye, kids. On the internet.